Our next new board member interview is with Glen Pandolfino. Glen is a New York City public school teacher and a union delegate at the High School for Environmental Studies on the West Side. He went to college at the University of Sydney in Australia. And there's a story there that we just don't have time to go into, but it's quite an adventure for a young person, where he took a master's in international affairs and economics. Closer to home, he's working on a master's in education at the College of Staten Island. Glen teaches social studies, advanced placement courses such as macroeconomics, and has a particular interest in working with at-risk students. At his school, he is active in a number of professional development teams, as well as its crisis intervention and school safety teams. Glen, when did you first become aware that there was such a thing as a community board?
One of my mom's friends was very active when we were kids, and I had heard about community board a lot. And I was always interested in hearing what she had to say about it. So recently, in the last year, I started going to some meetings, transportation and whatnot. Just wanted to see what was going on in the neighborhood, learn a little bit about it. And a colleague of mine suggested that maybe I should apply. So this year I decided to apply, not knowing whether or not I'd get in this time, but just for the experience of applying. So I went through the application process, which was pretty interesting. And here I am now.
You had an individual interview at the borough president's office?
Yes, well, there was the online application, and then there was a group interview, which was pretty interesting. They put us in all kinds of different scenarios. And then after that, I met with my councilman, Ben Kalos. I had an interview with him. And then I found out a little while later that I was accepted, and I was pretty happy about that. Gave me it's going to give me a real chance to really help my community, really become a part of the Upper East Side.
For viewers who are interested, half of the community board members are appointed directly by the borough president. The other half are appointed by the borough president on the recommendation of one of the two city council members who we have, which is Dan Garodnick and Ben Kalos in our particular area. Was there any particular issue? You're a teacher. Was education something that...
Well, that's one of the issues that I'm interested in. I'm interested in seeing services expanded for people. That's one of the things that got me interested in being involved with seniors. I'm interested in seeing that the quality of education is upward, not downward, that there's availability for all. I'm interested in a lot of different issues. I'm trying to learn as much as possible, being that I'm new to all of this.
Mm-hmm. The at-risk student caught my eye, because that's they're the most challenging.
Well, I always hold spots in my AP class for the at-risk. I think that given a chance, they'll flourish. I think if they're pushed a little bit, I think that it's a matter of pride for them. Over the years, I've worked with different children one-to-one in group settings and whatnot. One in particular comes back and he tutors for me. He's a junior in college. He comes back he's actually with me this summer. I'm teaching summer school classes. So he comes in twice a week to work with the kids one-to-one and in group settings with them. So it's really nice. I have a lot of students that actually come back and help. So there's never a need for me to find tutors and extra help.
And they say that one adult takes an interest in a kid, it can make the difference.
I worked on Wall Street before I became a teacher. It was nice, it was interesting, it was an education in itself, but teaching, there's magic in a classroom, there really is. I never have a bad day. Even a bad day is a good day. You learn every day. The kids keep you young and vibrant, keep you very passionate, keep you on your toes. It's a really interesting job, and I just love everything that I do, everything about teaching.
What other committees do you serve on?
I joined small business, I joined seniors, health and social services, and I guess I should join youth and education. I've been to a couple of meetings, and I will be joining that as well.
I found that I was on too many committees, and my attendance record suffered, and the borough president's office basically said, you're better off on fewer committees because we can all attend other committee meetings that we don't have, we're not particularly members of those committees, but we can attend. And by the way, the public should know that all of our committee meetings are open to the public.
Yeah, I deal all day long with youth and education. I want to be I want to have an impact on how education and policy is in the neighborhood that I live, as well as in, at my school. And I am involved in various committees at my school, at the school level. But what really interests me is really working with older people and making sure that they're aware of all the social services that are available to them. So it gives me kind of to both ends of the spectrum, working with the young and working with older people. So that's what I hope to achieve ultimately.
Are there any specific goals that you've targeted for this first term on the community board?
I'd like to learn as much as I can about the process. I'm hoping to get involved as much as possible as needed. Ultimately, I'd like to see that our schools are well funded, that our schools are using more and more technology, that our schools have the seats, and that there is choice available to parents. I also want to see that our older population know about all the services that are available to them. I think that's one of the issues, is that many don't know. So I'm hoping that I'll be involved with that. I'd also like to advocate a little bit for small business, especially when you see that it's been diminishing, over the years in communities. And I think that it gives variety, and it really gives you, I remember growing up in Brooklyn, how nice it was to know all the local shopkeepers. And I think that that's something really important. I think that's something that still exists on the Upper East Side. I know my dry cleaner very well. He doesn't ask me my name, and I don't have to take my ticket with me. And I really like that sense of community, and I really want to keep that. That's really important to me.
I think I mentioned that you were a union delegate. What does that involve?
I've been the union chapter leader at my school for about 4 years. Basically, I'm the voice of the teachers.
How many teachers do you represent?
About 60 teachers and other staff members, occupational therapists, psychologists, social workers, just basically to maintain that the contract, just to make sure that the contract is maintained between the UFT and the DOE. And I'm very lucky that I work very well with the administration at my school. It's very collaborative.
Well, from the larger resume that I saw, all of the teams that you're involved with at your school, obviously you're a people person.
I try to be,
well,
especially being a teacher.
It's pretty clear.
I would hope so. Yeah, the teams at my school are teachers and the administrators working together to basically try and, make the school work better. Try and engage the students, engage the parents, keep everything, make sure that all the Department of Education mandates and that we're meeting all the criteria. Trying to make sure that we meet all the needs of our students. It's very important.
Your appointment began April 1st.
Yes.
What's been your experience so far? Do you have impressions that you want to share? Or?
Everything's been great. I'm learning a lot. It's a lot to take in. Meetings are interesting. I really enjoy listening to the public members, the public come in and talk. I'm learning a lot. And I feel like the first few months are really me being a student more than anything else, just kind of feeling my way through it. And I'm hoping to, at some point, be involved more and get more vocal and get more active. That's what my hopes are.
Your interest in safety and in public safety, have you ever attended a precinct council meeting?
No, I haven't yet.
The 19th precinct, which covers the same district as the community board, meets on the first Monday of each month, not in July and August. But it's worth attending, and the public is welcome. It's as open as community board meetings.
Okay, so that might be something that I should do, and that
at
might
least
be
once.
Yeah, well,
meet the bosses, as they call them.
The good thing might be that I'd be able to bring some information back to even my school safety meeting about that, that I would get from a meeting like,
Absolutely.
such a meeting.
Well, welcome to our community board.
Thanks for having me, and I'm really excited to be a member and to be a part. I really feel, having done this, I really feel more so, a member of the community, and it's been a great experience so far.
Well, thank you. You bring a lot to the table. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you very much for having me.